Hey, Kate Rountree's here from Lafayette General. How are you?
Good. How are y'all
Good to see
doing? You too.
You know, we say every year, Kate, we want to see you all year long.
Right.
And then what happens is all of a sudden it's Christmas again.
I know. It just goes
And then
by
we
too fast.
and I still I don't have as good of hair, but I still tell people about using small plates.
There you go.
About not standing up at a Christmas party. Sit down with a plate, enjoy it. My wife, Sarah, who's a diabetes educator, is the one who says, don't drink your calories, eat your calories.
That's right.
That, you know,
That makes sense.
If you're going to get them, she would much rather eat them than drink them.
Absolutely.
If you're going to do it. So Kate Rountree always comes, you always have good little tips.
Yes.
So let's start with the tips. As people start looking ahead to 2018, we know now's the time people are thinking about resolutions and everything else. A few more days to maintain your 3,500 calorie a day diet before Monday, when you're going to drop off to like 800 calories a day, and it's
When
not gonna
every
work.
gym parking lot is going to be packed to the gills.
It's like June, July, and January.
That's right.
Those J
That's right.
months are the months I don't go to the gym.
Right.
Because it's kids during the summer and it's resolution people in January. But it's always good to start somewhere.
Yes. So I think the one thing that I would recommend is having a goal. I think is a good thing. Resolutions, I feel like probably get overplayed, but having a goal is a good thing. So number one, writing it down and making it a very visible, tangible, measurable goal, but at the same time realistic. You know, I mean, the goal of losing 55 pounds by February, let's be honest, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
It's just not happening. So be very realistic with the goals, with or resolutions, whatever you want to call it, and also make an action plan of how we're going to get there. And so that may be that, okay, yes, I am going to join a gym, but that's not enough. We've got to decide how often are you going to go? What days are you going to go? What are you going to do while you're there? Because if you have a well laid out plan, you're much more likely to execute.
You obviously deal in this. You deal with the surgical aspect a lot in your job.
Right.
And a lot of people, I think, are waiting, or they think in their mind they want like the magic solution, that they're going to continue to live the life they live. But what can you do? You know, but what can I do? Can I just get this surgery and I'm good? Can I, we hear every few months, oh, there's a weight loss pill. Right. And, if you look at people who maintain, maybe they do lose a lot of weight and they maintain it. It's because something changes in their mind. And it doesn't mean the cravings are going to always go away. No. You may always have it, but your health may be your motivation to keep it up.
It's funny you say that, because yesterday we had a support group, and that support group is for our surgical patients at any point in their journey. It could be those that are scheduled for surgery, those that are 7 years out of surgery. And we were talking about how it's a daily commitment to yourself, because it takes hard work. The surgery is only one very small piece of that pie. It takes daily accountability to yourself. And one lady said, she goes, it is a lot of hard work and it's not easy. She said, but the way I feel now that I've lost this weight and I'm exercising, she said, that reminds me of that I don't want to go back to my old habits.
Yeah. What do you make about... Go ahead.
It seems like, especially talking about resolutions, it takes more than just the mindset. It has to be a lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
It's not just going to the gym 2-3 times a week.
Right.
It's not just calorie counting or carb counting, whichever route you take. But it's a lifestyle change that it's required.
Oh, absolutely. It requires every aspect of your life to be more. You have to be more committed. You have to be more committed to cooking more at home, which means that you have to be more committed to shopping every few days. You have to be more committed to making a better choice at a restaurant, because that's inevitable. You're going to go out to eat. Making a better choice with your family. It requires a lifestyle change.
And with that, you mentioned grocery shopping. It also takes budgeting.
Absolutely.
Because, I find here in America and in Western culture, it's more expensive to eat healthy than it is to just pack on the fat and calories.
Right. And that's what I tell folks. You are what you eat. And so there are tips that we can, and maybe that's another day's conversation.
You gotta come back. Yes.
But how to eat healthfully on a budget, how to do that. Because it is a commitment.
I want to ask about culture.
Sure.
Here, there's always fresh rice in a rice cooker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We were talking about rice cookers earlier, and I never had a rice cooker in my house until I got married because I married someone from Opelousas. Right. But in my whole life,
lucky you.
In my whole life, guess what? We made rice the old-fashioned way. Guess what? It was never perfect. It was either overcooked or whatever, and whatever. That's then. So then when we had people over, and my wife and I, it was one of those like conversations we had like really like abnormally far into our relationship, and she was like, "Where's the rice cooker? Like, I don't cook. I cook on the stove." It's just so different here because we eat different things here. Right. And so portions are even more important 100%. Because it's higher in fat content, higher in carbohydrates. I want to ask you about men, especially. We have a lot of men who listen. Obviously, Derek and I are sitting right here. Do you find that the group aspect of it is harder for men to grasp? Because you have to admit you have a problem. You have to admit there's something you have to fix about yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that most of the men that we see in the clinic, I think the reason they've gotten to that point is because of work demands, which of course require quick grab and go, or they're working offshore. And the one thing that you can look forward to when you're in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico is that there's good food down in the galley of the rig.
Sure, smorgasbord often.
Right, and that's what they say. We could have anything we want.
Right.
So I think that it is sometimes more difficult for men. But on the same token, as a majority, and there's a few that may struggle with this, as a majority, men don't typically struggle as much with emotional eating like women do, which is a whole nother dimension of struggle. So I think for a lot of our men, it takes a while to get to the point to say, okay, I do need some help. I can't do this by myself. But we do have a lot that take advantage of our support group, that take advantage of all the team approach that we have, which makes it that much more successful.
I find that challenges. You know, there was a guy from Louisiana. His name was Josh. I can't think. Lajani.
Lajani. Yeah.
Which I saw that first, and they pronounced that on Good Morning America, and I said, however it's spelled, it's probably Lajane, and then I saw it, and I was like, nope, looks like Lajani. Yeah. Anyway, so I became a member of his Facebook page. You know, it's like an invite-only thing called Missing Chin's Running Club. And what it is totally set up is to be an ongoing competition where they encourage you. You know, there are so many little apps that map your run, do whatever. Sure. However, this is what I will say, which isn't realistic in my life, is he's all about plant-based. And I get it. Right. I get it. But then I look at the things that they eat, and I'm like, I want to be happy too. Like I'm going to be mean if this is what I'm doing. So there has to be some kind of balance. Now he's lost a ton of weight. He looks really great. Yeah. His brother and his sister are active on the page too. Oh yeah,
he was on the cover of Runner's World. That's how I first found out about him.
Well, and it's cool. I mean, it's different.
I think it's important in cases like that. You know, you look at his diet and say, well, that's not necessarily for me. This is not a blanket approach.
No, and that's what I was going to say.
Everybody's different.
And I think what that's why a lot, whether it's low fat, low carb, low sugar, sugar busters, Atkins, those don't work long term for everybody because what your realistic approach is different than my realistic approach. And I think that comes back to goal setting in the new year. You know that's not going to work for you. So then you look at, maybe going to a professional and saying, okay, this is my life. Help me get to where I want to be, but realistically.
And I probably shouldn't ponder why it's not going to work on my life while I'm eating fast food.
Precisely.
Just make that a little bit of a change.
Well, and then what you do is you tell whoever you're working with, I have to eat out, and this is how I have to eat. How can I do it more healthfully?
Okay, Kate Rountree, always great information.
Thank you for having me.
Happy New Year in a couple days. Merry Christmas, and we're gonna see you before next Christmas.
Oh, you bet. I will be here at the drop of a hat.
All right, Kate. Thanks for coming in.